Um, so that was pretty strange, but we are going to be able to talk to Leah Cushman. From what I hear from people in New Hampshire, Leah is one of the most powerful um, people who are in the legislature that I've ever seen in my life. I've been able to teach, talk to, and discuss things with lots of people. I have yet to see one who has done as much as her, and it's a blessing because we're going to be able to talk to her and hear what she has to say. I'm told that a couple of people who are in the state of New Hampshire that they had the opportunity to talk to her about things that deal with law. One thing that the people have been able to study around the nation, and one thing that we have been able to see with the Supreme Court, is that the government servants across the country at high levels understand what it is that the people have started to learn. They see that the state constitutions are literal contracts that the government has to follow. For a very long time, it was not that way. And the reason it was is because the people were not being taught. And so we have had the opportunity to talk with the gentleman here in personam jurisdiction. We've spoke with other people who actually testified um, in the state of New Hampshire in this committee. Mr. Noyes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just telling the people a little bit about some of the things that you guys have been able to do over there. I know that many of us across the nation have been able to deal with the Supreme Court, deal with government officials across the country, and we're seeing a huge shift in people understanding the law. But can you tell us a little bit about um, what you're seeing there in New Hampshire? I know we're going to reschedule with Leah for Tuesday, but I wanted the people to hear because there's so many people across the country who are actually in this work and actually teaching government officials one on one, giving notices to the Supreme Court, seeing things change across the country, as we saw with the ATF losing their power over the people. I wanted you to talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing over there in New Hampshire.
Well, what's pretty cool is actually right now in this space that you set up.
Mm-hmm.
Up until about a second ago, I saw two or three other New Hampshire reps that were coming into this group to listen.
Wow.
Um, they just left once they heard that it's going to be rescheduled, apparently, which is
Mm-hmm.
understandable. But they were coming in to listen to what's going on. So that's pretty cool. That would be several reps from the same state coming in to reason with us. But we have been working with a handful of reps in New Hampshire that have come to believe that New Hampshire Constitution Part 1, Article 32, right to instruct is very literal, that the Constitution, like you said, is a literal contract. We've been able to demonstrate that to them well enough that they believe it and are telling each other, and to the point where we even um, sent notice to a department called New
Hey Chris,
Hampshire.
you actually have one legislative still here that was giving 100s and hearts. Representative Dennis Mannion, I believe it is. If you want, he can have a mic to speak to if he would like to speak. We want to make sure that we honor all those who who care about the people's business. We don't want
Yep.
to leave anybody out. That's still here. We want to give honor where
Yeah.
honor is due.
Right.
So I'll make you a co-host if you can give him a mic as well, because it seems like he also. Let me see. Okay, I just gave you the ability to be co-host. If you want to try to give him a mic, he can speak if he wishes to. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah. I don't see him, but he could speak up. But I'm sure probably also he'll be back on Tuesday. But Tom, if you're there, if you raise your hand and you want to talk, that's fine. Um, while we're waiting,
Oh, he said he's
oh,
just here to listen. Cool, cool.
okay.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
So we were able to serve notice on the Department of Child and Family Services in New Hampshire. We made allegations that they are not following the constitutional due process. We gave them time to rebut, and they elected not to rebut. They came back at us with a summary dismissal of our notice saying, yeah, we do everything right, but they didn't provide any evidence to substantive evidence to prove that they give New Hampshire Constitution 115, which is a trial by jury, moving exclusively by the common law, no statute allowed, nothing in an administrative tribunal, no statutes when you're taking stuff from the people. And we told them, if you don't provide this evidence, then we're going to order Leah Cushman, New Hampshire Representative Leah Cushman, to form a committee, become the chair, and we're going to pursue this matter. So we did that, and it took a while. It was a long thing, but it took about 6 months, but it finally came into fruition, and Leah worked really hard at that. She used some of her cachet that she'd been building up for a couple of years as a rep, put it all on the line, got the committee going, and then she decided to have the people coming in testify under oath. Especially, she wanted that for the government agents that were going to come in. She did make it optional, um, but the Speaker of the House didn't like it, and he threatened her. Actually, during the first committee meeting, you can see her say, I need to caucus now with the Republicans. That's because right in the middle of the meeting, he was actually already sending her threats that she needed to stop or he was going to suspend the committee. And then it took about a week of jockeying, but eventually he sent her an email or a message that she's made public now, where he said, since the two of us can't agree on procedures, I'm removing you from the committee altogether and replacing you. So that's kind of where we are right now. Um, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that I'm sure she's going to bring us all up to date about, talk about. But to encourage the people, this has all come about. Um, and when I say this is all, I mean these representatives who are coming to believe that it's best for them when they take the instructions from the people to do these things and to hide behind our shield of authority, because the maxims say guilt cannot attach to he who is compelled to obey, so on and so forth, that we can accomplish great things together. So God has a plan. Um, all things work together for the good of those who love him. We know that. And so Tuesday night, hopefully, a lot more people from New Hampshire, people who testified that they were harmed and trespassed by the department, they're all going to come and call in. We're hoping that Representative Massey will be able to show up maybe, and if you guys will ping him, and hopefully a lot more New Hampshire representatives will have time now to come on Tuesday night, and we can discuss this in front of the people. How, what authority does the speaker have to do this? He didn't even cite any law. He just cited personal differences. We don't believe he has that authority.
Well, you know what,
Um,
Chris? The same way that we did with the FBI when we showed the parents by the law that the FBI can't go after us over school boards and the such, and the school boards tried to collude, and we told Jim Jordan to investigate them. In the
mhm.
same way, my plan is to send a notice this week to Jim Jordan and those guys, and to let them see how there's funds being used in private programs across the country in order to bypass, as the Supreme Court has just showed um, within the last couple of weeks, they've used agencies, given them authority, quote unquote, to take stuff from people. And now the Supreme Court is saying, look, there's never been a such thing of this sovereign immunity. It's a hoax. For decades, attorneys told us, yeah, you have sovereign immunity when you work with the government and you do something wrong. We know that's not true, but we demanded that the Supreme Court deal with it last year, after we went after the Arms Act and the ATF stuff. And now the Supreme Court has dealt with the ATF stuff. They've shown that the ATF never had an authority to do the things they were doing. The fundamental law never said they could do it. Um, And so, as we all know, the attorneys who were working at the Supreme Court were shocked and surprised, and the scholars, because they didn't understand why the Supreme Court was flipping. And, it's funny that, the Supreme Court now, 9-0, says that you can sue the agencies. Now, the attorneys told people, hey, you're okay. Look, if you just take stuff from people, we got your back. The courts aren't going to do anything. That was then. But now, the Supreme Court, after we gave them notice showing the fundamental law, the maxims, they're agreeing with us 100%, just like everything else. So my will is for this week to send out a notice to Jim Jordan, to the Supreme Court, and ask him to investigate even the speaker in New Hampshire and all of those who are working with CPS. I'm going to show the Title 42 funds that come in, which you can't be a trustee for the people and then at the same time turn around and be an agent or someone working to stop CPS from having to come forth with knowledge and information that would protect the people. You also can't give them authority to bypass the Constitution and take hits in tribunals that's not lawful based on your own state constitution. So this week, if God lets me live, I'll have a notice done probably by tomorrow, and we'll see if we can get everybody to put it in jot form, and then we'll send it to this Jim Jordan and those guys as we always do. I did get a communication from one of the federal legislators 2 days ago, and I think that it wouldn't be a big deal to get a way bigger investigation happening, especially because there's so many people who gave notice. Um, it should be pretty easy. So we'll put that out this week. Hopefully we can hear from Leah on Tuesday, but by then, if God lets us live, we'll try to get a notice, an affidavit out to the legislature and the Supreme Court. Let them know what's going on, and like I said, this should be an easy one. But the next step is going to be letting the Supreme Court know that we know that government officials in all states are considered agents and officers of the people. And so when the law says that an agent cannot attack the principal, you know, uh, it is the same thing for a government servant. They have been taught that they have this type of immunity, but if you go back to the beginning, right before the beginning of the nation, you can see in the law that when there was maladministration or malfeasance, that government officers, high officers, were able to be prosecuted. So this idea that, oh, we're going to just ignore the people and do whatever we want to do is not really a good argument or a good way to be, because an attorney tells you it's okay. That's not going to fly. But we'll have it together by Tuesday, um, and we will see what happens. But if all of you guys want to, I would ask for you to all share this space. We're not going to have Leah here tonight, but share this space across the country. Get with all of your government officials, all of the people you know, and then by Tuesday, we'll do a jot form together and get a few thousand people to get with the federal legislature and the Supreme Court, and then we'll see what happens from there. It should be good though.
Yeah,
Um,
Dave, and also um, here locally within New Hampshire, I'm going to make affidavits for all the people who sent notice. There's a lot of people who already sent notice to the DCYF,
mhm.
and we're going to make affidavits regarding this committee and the speaker, and so they can all be a part of that as well.
Mhm.
Um, just letting everyone
Will
that's in
y'all
here
be
from New
sending
Hampshire know.
affidavits to the speaker too?
Yep.
Good. Yeah. So make sure you put in there the Trump case where uh, Trump actually lost based on the affidavit that he didn't respond to,
Right.
and add that into the affidavit so you're giving good notice. But guys, I'm telling you that we are living in a new day. We saw the same thing with OSHA. We gave notice first, and with the Texas lockdown or mandate, in that case, one of our students put an affidavit in the actual case, and the judge mentioned it. So we are seeing that we are having good success across the nation. um, a lot of those issues and ideas that government officials had were knocked down when we used the real law and maxims. And just make sure with everything you send now that you give good disclosure so people know that they're on the hook if they ignore it. And we'll go ahead and just take it all the way. I
Yeah.
mean, th-
Sorry, Dave. I just wanted to, I just had to interrupt for one quick second because I
mhm.
see people and politicians from New Hampshire still filing in. So we might want to just close out because though, so that we don't have to keep explaining that we're not going to have Leah here tonight, that we're going to reschedule for Tuesday.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Um,
Cool. Well, for everybody else, I think we're going to do Tuesday for Leah. But guys, we're going to go ahead and get on our work. I'll get the notice done by tonight. By tomorrow morning, I'll try to get it to everyone. And then you guys can join in on Tuesday.
yep. So for all those who just came in, there was a snafu with Arizona not changing times and Leah's mic having trouble. So we're rescheduling for Tuesday night. We're going to repost a space link and we'll keep in touch with everyone.
All right, everybody. We will catch you guys later. Make sure you share this with everyone. We want to be ready for the notice and affidavits. And Chris, if you can, at least get two affidavits against sent to this speaker so that we can forward that to Jim Jordan, that we have two witness or two accounts of him not doing what's right and the people having issue with it so we can move an investigation.
Yep.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, we will catch you guys later. Please share this space out. We love you all. We thank you all for all your hard work and all your wins. We want to thank you guys in Michigan who got a huge victory the other day. We also want to give love out to everyone else who has been doing hard work across the country. Those of you who are teaching the politicians in your state, you guys are amazing. We want to give thanks to all those politicians that you guys have taught who have done right, who love the people, who care about the people's business. And you guys are going to be on the right side of history. So we thank you. And we will catch you guys later. Bye bye.
Thank you.